Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with some Thanksgiving cards. This is the first year that I decided to do cards for Thanksgiving. I normally don't do them, but I got the cartridge, the Thanksgiving cartridge from ProvoCraft, or the Cricut cartridge, and I got this at CricutMachine.com at a discount price. So I decided I would do some Thanksgiving cards this year, and I had to do quite a few. So I'm going to get started and show you what I used and what I did. And like I said, I used the Thanksgiving cartridge, and I used the sentimental cartridge, and I used my gypsy. So I'm going to get started and show you the very first card. This is my first card, and it says "Count Your Blessings," which was cut out using the Thanksgiving cartridge. And then it has like a little Indian on there. And I have to say, what I used for my paper for the "Count Your Blessing" and the top layer of the Indian was some of that cardstock that I got from my coworker that was getting ready to be thrown in the garbage. And this one was really difficult to cut with the Cricut. I actually had to cut this, 3 or 4 times. And that was even at the multi-cut. I cut it twice on multi-cut. And it kept ripping, and it was pilling up with balls of paper. I thought it was my blade, so I changed my blade. I changed my mat. And it still kept doing it, and I was about to just say, forget it, I'm not doing this one. But then I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish it out and try it one more time, and it worked. And I don't know if it was late at night when I was doing this, and I was tired, and I was impatient, or what, but I finally got it to work. So what I use for the card itself is some craft cardstock. And all of the cards are made with the craft cardstock that I picked up at Joann's. And my cards measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then my top layer is, I'm going to have to look at my notes because I made 8 of these cards. So I have to remember I can't remember everything that I did because I made them at different times of the day. The top layer is 4 by, no, I'm sorry. Wrong card. Let me try that again. I'm going to sit this down here real quick while I look at my notes. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. This card is actually 5 1/2. Nope, sorry. Let's try that again. Okay. Yeah, this one is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and my top layer is 5 1/4 by 4. And the Indian itself I cut at 4 inches, as well as the clothes, and I cut the words at I believe it was finally at 1 1/2 inches after I kept cutting at different sizes, and I tried to fit it correctly in the gypsy. I created myself a template so I could see how wide and how tall my card was, and it measured fine. But like I said, when I kept cutting it, it just kept ripping the paper. So I believe the final cut was 1 1/2 inches, and then I edged my edges, or inked my edges, with the Tim Holtz Distress ink, the vintage photo. And I pretty much did all of them that way with using the vintage photo for my distress ink. So that's my first card. And I'm going to move along and go to the second card. My second card is this one, and this one was also cut at 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and the bottom layer is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And what I did with this one, this is using that same yellow cardstock. I ran it through my Cuttlebug using my leafy branch folder. And then I cut the corn at 4 inches. And then I took some raffia paper that I had and made a little bow. And then I cut all the layers were cut at 4 inches. And then down here at the bottom, I put this little piece. I didn't even measure this. I just looked at it and looked at how I wanted to go across at the bottom. And I took and ran it through my Martha Stewart Border Punch, the English Ivy. So that's what I put on the bottom of that one. And then, like I said, I inked the edges using the Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress ink. Okay. So now, the next card is this one. And this card was cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then my bottom layer is 5 1/4 by 4, and then I took that and I ran it through my Cuttlebug using my Swiss Dots folder, and I inked the edges on everything using the Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress ink. And then this top layer, I actually used my Sentimentals cartridge, and this is on page 50. There's also one on page 51, and it's this one right here. And I cut that, let's see, I believe I cut that one at, let's see, I didn't write that one down. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. That one was cut at 4.64 by 3.75. And I did this on the Gypsy, and I just measured it out to make sure it was going to fit within my bottom layer. And that's what it came out to be. The turkey is cut at 2.5 inches. And what I did was I took some flock and added that on the feathers of the turkey. The word bountiful was cut at 1 inches. Okay, so now let's go on to the next card. My next card is also cut the same way as the others, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then my bottom layer is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I took my Spot Dots folder by Cuttlebug and ran the bottom layer using that. And then I took the top layer and I once again used that Sentimentals on page 50. It's called a curved sample, and it's right there. I used that one again and ran that through my Cuttlebug folder using the Swiss Dots. Now the pilgrim hat was cut at 2.5 inches along with the buckle and the strap going across, and then I cut the gather together at 2 inches as well, and I inked the edges with the Vintage Photo. So, let's see, running out of room here.